Good afternoon, everyone. Today, our discussion topic is about relational database status with advent of NoSQL. Relational database has been dominating on the database market for a long time. Recently, they have been disrupted by rapid growth of NoSQL databases. But still, relational database have their fair share of importance in database market, according to me, because NoSQL databases were one of the hottest topics, not just for storage engineers, but for anyone trying to build highly scalable, cloud friendly software stacks. From a business perspective, NoSQL is looking pretty healthy, while there is no good way to measure the exact market share or valuation of NoSQL databases. We can use certain data points to measure the financial importance of NoSQL today. It is also most important worth noting that the major public cloud vendors are also offering NoSQL databases such as Dynamo DB on Amazon Web Services and Cosmos DB on Azure. That's a sign that these companies see NoSQL as an important commercial service. NoSQL database stores data. However, unlike the relational database, there are no tables, rows, primary keys, or foreign keys. Instead, the non-relational database uses a different type of a storage model, which has optimized for specific requirements of the data being stored. However, NoSQL seems to be in decline according to the Google Trends, which we are seeing regularly on online. Today is only about the trends have been very low when compared to its peak in 2015. I tend to think that the reason is that NoSQL has been following the same path as the technology of Linux. When Linux has been first introduced in the mid 1990s, forward-thinking IT pros saw it as a momentous new technology that could displace both Windows and other Unix Linux-like operating systems. Over time, Linux had seen major commercial success. Linux-centric startups like Red Hat turned into huge enterprises at the point of time. However, the buzz surrounding Linux has all slowly but steadily decreased. Few IT pros would dispute that the topic of Linux is not as hot it was 10 or 20 years ago. Google has confirmed the perspective of the that NoSQL has been following the same trend as the Linux has been done in the past. In short, then the fact that NoSQL no longer seems like a big deal doesn't mean NoSQL hasn't become a big deal. Plenty of people are using the technology on everyday basis, and that's exactly what they are no longer excitingly talking about it. We have seen that NoSQL databases are becoming a major part of the database landscape today. They are being shipped and with multiple advantages, which when compared to relational database, like performance at a big data level, scalability and flexibility of design, etc. Hence, they can be a performance at a big data level. Hence, they can be a real game changer in the IT market. Other attributes like lower cost and open source features like make NoSQL an appealing option for many companies looking to integrate big data. However, NoSQL is still a very young technology without the set of standards that MySQL has created in the relational database systems. MySQL, on the other hand, is still covering a huge chunk of the market since it has the standard SQL language that provides easy access and modification of databases. Being an established database, it has a huge community of well-defined instructions and field of oriented people and problem areas section. Hence, general problems coming up with the MySQL database can be easily resolved with its well-versed community. One of the good things about MySQL database management is that it is available with a broad range of reporting tools that can help the validity of an application. On the other hand, NoSQL database do not have reporting tools for performing testing and analysis. I would like to conclude with a brief explanation about MySQL and NoSQL. As with many major business decisions, IT leaders also need to weigh their options and thus conclude the difference between both. What are the features which are important to them in the database? NoSQL has many advantages, such as being able to perform at a big data level, having flexible designs, and a great scalability. So, NoSQL is starting to be a real game changer for the IT market, whereas other people are very concerned with its lack of standardization, which is very important when you come into the business perspective of database management. However, NoSQL is still a young technology and does not provide the set of standards that MySQL has been providing since a long time. With MySQL, you can easily access and modify databases, and there is a large community that can assist when problems arise. At the end of the day, the choice depends on the complex business needs of the organization and the volume of data it consumes. Whether you use MySQL or NoSQL or a combination of both, it is ultimately up to the user and the problem which you are going to do in the company. Weighing upon the pros and cons of each and identify your own needs to determine which option is right for you is also important. Thank you, one and all.